American College, Madurai, and associating organizers, Madras School of Social Work, Chennai, International Center for Clinical Psychology and Psychotherapy, Germany, MS Chellamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation, Madurai, Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research Center, Madurai, Psycho-Oncological Association, Turkey. We warmly welcome you all to today's session. And today's resource person is Ms. Akshaya Lakshmi. I'm very glad to introduce her to the group. She is not new to us. She has handled few more sessions before. And to us, she is known to be an aspiring researcher, an empathetic counselor, and a very passionate teacher. And she has been doing justice in all the way she does. And she is currently a guest faculty at Bharathiar University. And she is a resident counselor. She was a resident counselor at MES Raja International Residential School in Kerala. So she is doing good in her research, and she has published papers on emotional maturity and self-concept among college students. She has also studied society's view on women wearing Western outfits, and she has got internship experiences at different levels, and she has also attended to training programs. So we are very glad to have you here, Akshaya. And we are also proud that you have been a delegate representing the Indian youth in Sri Lanka. So no more to wait. We are very much welcoming you to start your session on forgiving oneself and others. Thank you very much for being here. The session is yours.
Thank you so much, Chandra ma'am, for introducing me. And I would like to place my sincere thanks to Dr. Suresh Kumar sir and all of her core team members and the participants who had always been a supportive hand for me to actually do a presentation here. And we will have an open discussion here in today's session. So I have allowed, you can unmute yourself and actually go with questions and things. Yes, I will start my share now. Chandra ma'am, kindly check if you are able to see my PPT.
Yeah, I'm on the go, Akshaya. Just, yeah, it's very visible.
Okay. So, give me a second, I'll just. So, yes, this is a topic that it is very important to handle. A lot of sessions have been handled based on like forgiving or forgiveness. But I want to focus both on forgiving and also forgiving. Have a proper discussion about how it goes. Chandran, kindly let me know if the screen is totally visible or if there is any black marks in the screen.
You're perfect, Akshaya, with your voice and slides. It is in full mode. So anything, I'll just let you know. Please carry on, dear.
Being supportive. Yes. So kindly do not hesitate to answer any question I'm saying, because like it's more of a discussion. We are going to learn from it, and hence kindly be open to your views. If it is right, okay, we will take it, and if it is wrong, also we will acknowledge, and we will actually have a proper discussion about it. So yes. So my first question will be like forgiveness. Can someone say what is forgiveness? In simple terms, what is our understanding about forgiveness? Yes.
Accepting one's mistake and forgot that.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Yes, ma'am. Accepting one's mistake, ma'am.
Okay. Accepting whose mistake? It's like I am forgiving someone means, is it accepting my mistake? Someone else has actually done the mistake, right?
Both, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. You mean like we have to accept done something harmful to us, and hence we have to start, and others also have done some mistake. That also we are accepting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Kirtana. Thank you for answering. Two more answers I would be appreciating.
Ma'am, acknowledging our emotions that we got hurt, and then letting go of the aggression or anger towards the other person.
Good, ma'am. I'm not able to see the name. Yeah, you had actually covered the. Oh yeah, Swati. Thank.
Yes.
So yes, as you said, it is more of accept of letting go, and that term letting go we will be discussing more here. Whether it is, and also the accept. These two concepts are what forgiveness is. I really appreciate both of you give such an answer. Good. So moving on with my presentation. So we usually have the psychologists and some professional names for some simple terms that we kind of feel it in our own language. So yes, likewise, psychologists find forgiveness as a conscious, deliberate decision of resentment, which is the bitter feel that we have when someone hurt us, and also revenge. Like vengeance is more of like someone actually hurt me, I will also hurt. That kind of feeling to a group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they act against. The most important thing is whether really deserves you to forgive them, or probably when it comes to the term of me forgiving myself, do I deserve? That is a term that we really don't want to worry about. Okay, we deserving it or not. It's more about me. We will discuss more about that. Okay, we'll be discussing more about why it is me, and happiness is a feeling that I personally experience. So we'll be in our next slides. So yes, again, deliberate decision that I know that something is happening, and so I decide to release or let go the feelings of resentment or vengeance. So my biggest question, let me say that my session is going to be very practical. So kindly say the answer truthfully, feel it and just say it. Is it easy to forgive someone? Kindly unmute yourself and say.
No.
Nose. Okay, I'm not able to see the chat, so kindly if there is different answers, Chandramam, kindly read the chats for me also, so it will be helpful for me. Okay, few of you are saying not easy.
Shreya, and my answer is very easy. If you just think about it and you let it go, it goes off. That's it.
That's good. Okay. Okay. I guess I'm getting pop-up messages saying like few are saying not easy, and Chandra ma'am has said very easy. So we will discuss about this. Most of them, yes, most of them feel that forgiving someone is it's not a very easy thing for them, and probably the person's intensity of the issue, the person's intensity of the feeling of being hurt or disappointed can be different. It varies from individual to individual, but in most researchers, it is said that forgiving someone, it's kind of a. And there is another one question for me. We are going to focus on forgiving oneself, forgiving others. So my question will be, which is comparatively easier? Do you think forgiving oneself is easier or forgiving others is easier?
You can kindly message in the chat box and I can make Akshay let know about it. Please go on.
Forgiving oneself is easy, ma'am.
Okay, Kitna? Good.
I think it more depends upon the perception of the person, like what they feel about themselves and the outer world.
Yeah,
Determine
valid
their
point.
forgiveness towards outer or inner.
Yeah, valid point, ma'am. Is any other?
Yeah, Kanaka Pratap has messaged forgiving oneself is easy. And I have another answer that I think forgiving oneself is easy because we are clearly aware of our intentions.
Okay, okay.
And
Okay,
my
thank you
answer,
so much for giving.
My answer is,
Chandram.
Ananya, forgiving others is easy to me because I feel more guilty if I have done something really wrong. So for me, I can easily excuse someone's mistake than excusing myself.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you all the participants who have actually given time to actually respond to the questions. Yes, it was a different answer that was expected because a lot of research studies, psychologists actually made a lot of research studies, and it is found that people tend to forgive others very easily compared to forgiving oneself. It is the majorly they found that it is because someone has done something, means probably we love some that person and we tend to forgive them, or tend to give some reasons and forgive. When it is me, the intensity of the problem, that again it matters. Okay, when it is the intensity of the hurt that I caused on someone, or they probably again there was an answer that said like, I know in what intention I did it, so I tend to forgive myself. Yes, that is where it is. It's more of I know it's a personality, or it's what we are saying it as. I am not intentionally hurting someone, hence I can actually forgive myself. A beautiful answer once again. So yes, but a lot of research studies have said that people who actually have personally hurt someone even without proper intention, then I ask sorry and that other person doesn't understand my intention, then that feeling of, and then the person starts thinking that that probably I hurt that person, even it is unintentional, but again the fact that the person is hurt and right now is not forgiving me has created a lot of issues, and that person at the end was not able to forgive oneself. And is especially when someone died some because of the person, or some good opportunity the person has actually lost because of me, something like that, very intense important things. It was said that the forgiving oneself was a very difficult job. So to me personally, to say both are very important and both are a very difficult task, because the what is it, my situations which I actually saw in my life is going to be different from yours. So we will give equal importance to both of it, and we will be having a proper discussion. So yes, Hartman says, no one can beat us up better than we beat ourselves up. Usually the self-blame that it is all because of me, because I did that mistake. Usually what happens when I do something, the emotional aspect that is attached to me doing something has actually influenced or kept me thinking about the same thing again and again and again. Hence, I actually feel at the end, I will be feeling that I'm a pathetic person. I shouldn't have done. I'm a very bad person. I shouldn't be a person who is facing someone because I hurt. Usually, a person who doesn't do it intentionally has this feeling, and especially when the other person doesn't forgive them, they tend to grow this feeling and then end up in a very difficult situation to come out. That's what.
Hello, can't hear.
Sorry, ma'am. What about others? Can others hear me?
Your voice is very low.
Okay, my voice is low.
No, Akshaya, your voice is okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I second
thank you,
it.
ma'am.
I second it, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, for me too, it is very clear. Thank you.
So yes, so coming back again. So first we have to know why forgiveness. Why is it even a thing that we have to discuss about? There are a lot of research when it comes to some concept. It is better that we go and look at to the history of it, and we look at into the research aspects. So I had actually referred a lot of research studies, but I just want to give only one. But you can actually go and refer a lot of other research studies also. So there is this research study which was experimental research. They made like 70 Hope College undergraduates were taken, and they were asked to focus on the thoughts, feelings, and physical responses.
Ma'am,
How
you're
they are
not
feeling.
audible.
Sorry, I guess I'm audible. Kindly check your audio in the system, please. Thank you so much. And kindly chat it, put it in the chat box so that others can reply to you. Thank you so much. Okay. So again, so what happens is they were asked to focus on thoughts, feelings, and the physical responses. And they were asked to rehearse it. And they were like a time given for thinking about forgiving and thinking about hurtful incident that was happened to them. This is about someone else hurting me or harming my feelings. So what happened was being forgiving. That kind of people were consisted of empathizing with the offender, trying to understand in their shoes, and being forgiving again involved letting go of negative emotions towards the offender and cultivating conciliatory ones. Okay, all these things were asked to be focused when the person were thinking about forgiving someone. And another part, what they did was being unforgiving consisted of rehearsing the hurt and holding a grudge. They were asked to keep on thinking. It's like the person was asked to keep on thinking the particular incident and why it happened to them. So the result actually showed a powerful difference between the people who thought about forgiveness and who were not forgiving someone. So there was this emotional and physiological reactions were compared, and during the unforgiveness period, participants reported feeling more negative, aroused, angry, and sad, and less in control. What happens here is, if you go and see other researchers, this anger, the feeling of depression, all was in the higher state. So these people are not those who were not ready to forgive that kind of period. And the emotional and the physiological, there were research studies that has proven that the physiological, the biological aspect, the health aspect, the physical health, emotional health, both of them were affected and also showed improvement. Those who were giving time for forgiving, they were showing a good improvement. The other group was actually feeling the health issues also. So that is the finding of the study. So this is, I'm just quoting the study because we have to know that there are research studies focusing on this also, and there is a great research that is showing both emotionally and. So we start with my proper topics. So forgiving others. Before we think about others, the first thing is that the person got hurt, disappointed by the person. Who is that? It is us. It is us. Okay. So what happens here is before some emotion that, or someone has actually disappointed me. Those people have done something very harmful. That's why it is hurting me very much. And I did not expect that person to actually hurt me. So in that case, what happens is the feeling and the emotion is overwhelming. We want to or we are like these two reactions where I want to hurt the person again, and or else I just what is it become hopeless or doesn't want to actually hope for getting into our relationships or something like that, especially when it comes to some marital issues or something like that. So we have to value the person rather than go and say them, okay, you have to forgive the person, whatever the person has, you have to, no, not like that. First, focus on me. Someone has truly hurt me. The feeling is true. I am the one who is disappointed. I am the one who is hurt. So I have to know that. Yes. And it is not wrong to feel hurt or disappointed. We are human beings. Someone that does something to us, obviously we are going to feel it. Do not, and there is a we will be seeing what is the misconception, what are the misunderstandings about forgiveness. It is never about it's saying someone, okay, you hurt me, I will be forgiving you. It's not that at all. So we'll be saying more about it. So the other question is, who is that other person? One is, I got hurt. That is okay, correct. The other person who hurt me usually is someone I loved or someone whom I respected them so much. Others and all, there are a lot of other people who actually hurt me and all these things, but I don't bother to actually think about the word forgive. Should I forgive? I won't think if it is an enemy. But whom we consider more, or the effect of being hurt or disappointed or whatever is based on the person who did it to us. So usually that person is a person who loved us, or whom I love so much, or the person whom I respected. In most cases, it's like respect is an emotion. I respected, and I had never expected that that person will do such a thing to me. So this is one thing. We'll be focusing on what to do later, but before that, we have to know what forgiveness is not. Let us be clear with that, and then we will focus on what we can do and what is practically possible. In my session, I will be very practical. Let us be open to it. This is what is reality means. This is reality. So yes, let us speak. What forgiveness is not. One thing is, forgiveness doesn't mean you are pardoning or excusing the other person's action. You are totally saying that whatever you did is right. You're not saying that. That is not forgiveness. Second, forgiveness doesn't mean you need to tell the person that he or she is forgiven. You don't want to go and say to that person, it's not a complete thing, or it's not, it doesn't need to be a complete thing. You don't want to go and say, yes, I forgive you. Sometimes they won't even need forgiveness. And forgiveness doesn't mean you shouldn't have any more feelings about the situation. The situation, you don't want to totally ignore the situation. And it doesn't mean there is nothing further to work out in the relationship, or that everything is okay now. Let us be practical. It is not like just because I forgive someone, the next day on that person will be doing everything that I like. No, especially when it comes to relationship. If you go and say, yes, I forgive you, the person is continuing the same thing, means there is no point of forgiving. So we have to take time to work out on the relationship, and we cannot say that everything is okay after that. We'll be discussing. Okay, again, it doesn't mean you should forget the incident ever happened. No, it doesn't mean you have to continue to include the person in your life. Again, there are few extreme cases of where the person either physically abused you, or the person has actually emotionally been doing something for a longer period of time, where you are not able to get in touch with that person. It's okay. Sometimes you don't want to include that person in your life. And forgiveness is something you do for the other person. That is very, very important. The concept of forgiveness is a feeling of mine. It's my thing. It's like I feel the pain. My pain cannot be felt by others. The physical pain, the emotional pain, something like that. Forgiveness isn't something you do for the other person. It's for yourself. Why we say we'll speak about it. Yes. Forgiving others, forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace at your heart. The quote given by Jonathan. Yeah. Yes. Again, forgiving others, we'll be discussing about forgiving others for quite. So, forgiving others, do not attempt to forgive someone before you have identified, fully felt, expressed, and released your anger and pain. It's like this water. I just got this idea. Okay. You have this dirty water in your hand. Okay. And I'm not saying that the feelings are dirty. I'm just giving the existence of a particular feeling as the water. Okay. So when you put the positive thinking, okay, I'm going to think a lot of positive thing about that person, and I will be suppressing that bad feelings that I have, or the hurt feeling that I'm going to ignore. How much ever water you're going to pour, it's going to be same. There will be mixing of emotions, but it will not be a clear water. So first focus on me. Okay, I first identify that I have been hurt. Fully feel it, express it, say it to someone, say it to your friends, or probably you can ask the other person. Again, I will speak about that. When you speak to someone who had hurt you, probably there are situations where they actually do not realize that they hurt you. At times it do happen. They are in a very focused way. They are in a very narrow looking. They do not know that they are actually hurt, but you are hurt. You can go and ask them. And there are situations where they purposely hurt you. And what happens when someone is purposely hurting you, and you go and say that you did something with them, they will start hurting you again. So that you should be careful with what you're doing. Okay, and release your anger and pain. There are different psychological ways where we can do it when we are not able to focus or go and directly say to someone. Effective ways. You can write the letter to yours, to naming that person. You can do it. There are a lot of research studies that has proven that as a effective method, where you can just write it and burn it, or you can just go to temple. It has a lot of effect on us. Yes. So kindly see what it is. Do not attempt to forgive someone when you have a lot of emotions inside. Give time. Think time. Do not, if someone is doing more also forgive. No, practically not possible. So give some time. Try out steps to forgive even when it feels impossible. This is something I want to really try. Accept how you felt about it and how it made you react. We have to know why. There are a lot of people who questioning it, saying that person shouldn't have done it, that person shouldn't have done it, how can he or she do that? A lot of things that happens. I don't deserve this. A lot of things happen, but it did happen. We have to accept that. Yes, that person did hurt me. Okay. Yeah, not okay. It doesn't mean that okay is not like the person hurting me is not okay. Okay, it's just they did it. I have to accept it. If I keep denying it or keep arguing with it, the next step will not come. Yeah, the person hurt me, and I feel the hurt, and how it made me react. Everything I'm looking at it and acknowledge the growth you experienced as a result of what happened. What did it make you learn about yourself or about your needs and boundaries? This is very, very important. Probably I learned that probably when the person actually hurt me, I learned that I'm very much attached to that person. That's why I got hurt. Probably the boundaries. I might be very cautious about the boundaries that I set next time, so that it doesn't happen, or else it gives a lot of uh, people who said after they got in something, they get an opportunity to have a conversation about it, and I will know. These are the things that you are a very good person, but these are the things that and that is hurting me. I said I go and say to them, and they understand. Probably an understanding person. So I can just go and say and set boundaries. Probably within myself, I can set boundaries, or with someone I can have the boundaries. Now think about the other person. Then you think about the other person. He or she acted from limited beliefs and a skewed frame of reference, because sometimes we all act from our limited beliefs and skewed frame of reference. We are also human beings. My experience in my life, my looking at a particular thing in my what is it, childhood memories, or probably the learnings that I got from other people. A lot of things are actually one important aspect of that. So probably the person had limited beliefs, hence the person did it. Think see, there are again, if you know, you analyze the situation, if you feel that if the person did it purposely, you go talk and see, or else understand that the person's personality and it's okay to leave. Again, gaining a more balanced view of the offender and the event. Again, is that person the same, always doing the same thing, same mistake again and again? See, or the person doing it first time, there is a lot of we misunderstanding, or probably one thing that person did, but I just value only that negative thing. I will be speaking about that. Okay, decreasing negative feelings towards the offender and potentially increasing compassion. Yeah. Another thing, I will start with this also. Beware of negativity bias. There is a term called negativity bias. Okay, what happens here is there are a lot of things that is happening in our life. Okay, let me be very specific. Okay, someone had actually hurt me. That person that I did not expect. It is totally not acceptable. When someone hurt me, I keep thinking that the person hurt me. I had done time that you take a step to see, has this person been the same all throughout my friendship or all throughout my relationship? Probably a lot of good things are there. You can just write. If you want, go and write it. Write it saying, okay, these are the bad things that this is the thing that has hurt me so much. Yes, I write it here, and you can just put it in the tablet column. Which hurt me? Okay, this. You can put right in the right side. You can just write what are the good things that person actually did. When you are not able to think clearly, you can do it. So you will be having a lot of other things that the person actually had done it, but usually we don't focus it because this negativity bias. Usually the negative aspects is very strong, that it actually nullifies all the positive things. So it is very important, cautiously. That's why forgiveness is a cautious thing. Okay, so you have to cautiously think about what are the other good things that the person has actually done. That can actually help you to think, decide whether the person deserves not. It's more can you do it, or can it be a step, go ahead, something like that. And that is also, we cannot deny the fact, giving a chance and all those things. Okay, and act out. Again, this act out thing is, again, you can speak to the person. Okay, you can do it, or you can just feel, okay, the person, you can understand the person. The basic thing is understanding. Probably, again, there is a possibility that the person did not do it first intentionally. One of you, two of you have said, saying, I will forgive myself easily because I know that I did not do it intentionally. What are the chances of the other person doing the same? I'm not saying that all of them who are hurting you or harming you are going to be the same. No, but there are few people who doesn't do it intentionally. We have to accept that also. So their view of the world, probably it is narrowed. See their personalities. That's why you see the offender and the event. Compare it, balance it, and see. And it actually helps us to actually give a reason for us to forgive someone and act out. That is about forgiving others. And when we come to forgiving oneself, there are like four important things. There are a lot of research studies actually done on forgiving oneself, because a lot of psychiatric issues also popped up because of the feeling of guilt that I did something to someone. That person is not in the stage to actually forgive me, even though I was not doing it intentionally. So there are like four things that actually are the steps kind of for us to forgive us. One is forgiving oneself, accept responsibility. Okay, there are a lot of relationship issues. Let me say there are a lot of things. Breakup, especially when it comes to relationship, breaking up, and someone is saying the reason is all you. Probably the reason is you, or probably the reason is them. Usually, when it comes to relationship, both of them are done like equal reasons, probably, or one just cheating on someone, something like that. Whatever, but when we are speaking about myself, the probably with I might have been a very overprotective partner. There is a possibility that I am a very overprotective partner, that if let me be a boy, okay, so any other boy is coming and speaking, I'm just restricting that girl so much that she is not feeling comfortable. Really bad to, like, what is it? So something like that. There are a lot of sensitive issues I'm speaking about. You can actually compare something to yourself, so that it is a process you can actually understand. Yeah, forgiving oneself, yes, accept responsibility. One important thing is, if you have been making excuses rationally, or rationalizing or justifying your actions in order to make them seem acceptable, it is time to face up and accept what you have done. Yes. Rationalizing, it's because of these things only I did it, or probably there was no mistake on my thing. Deep inside, probably yes, the mistake was mine. Time to face it. Let us accept responsibility. Let us say that yes, this is, and let me say, saying it in a single word, but it is really a hard process for the person who is actually going through, or feeling the blame, self-blame, or guilt more. Guilty is a very complicated emotion where that person's it can just break person too much. So that kind of feeling, when you are doing it, it's okay. First, it's the hardest step. Accepting responsibility is the hardest step, but when you do it, again, as a result of taking responsibility, you may experience a range of negative feelings. A lot of other things will start coming, and including guilt and shame, which are the very important thing. When you are done something wrong, it's completely normal, even healthy, to feel guilty about it. Yes, we are human beings. We will start feeling the feeling of guilt. I shouldn't have done such a thing to that person, even though sometimes out of anger I do it, out of revenge or something, I did something, but the person was hurt very much. Yes, while guilt implies that you're a good person who did something, guilt says you, yes, you're a good person, but you did something. But shame makes you see yourself as a bad person. You did something, and the other person's impression on you totally changed, and that you are feeling a particular shame that actually will start make you believe as a bad person. But understand that making mistakes that you feel guilty about does not make you a bad person or undermine your intrinsic value. Your values are the core. Values are the ones that determine you. Okay. But when it comes to some incident that you did it, okay, you did it, but then the value will not change. You will not totally turn into a bad person because you did something one time or two times. The basic quality is going to be the same. Forgiving oneself again. When you accept responsibility and then you remorse it. Remorse is more like that guilty, dealing with the guilty feeling. You can that's why you can write it or to solve it next step. Repair the damage and restore the trust. It's again, you want to have the courage to go and say sorry. If you really feel something, go and say sorry. But let me say, you take responsibility to say sorry. You be very genuine in saying it. But then the person who is taking it, again, there is a question. Okay, probably they understand, but you should understand them also. Like, you did something very harsh or something that the person is feeling very bad. Okay, let us be in that position. There was someone who had hurt me very much. Will I accept that sorry just because the person is coming and saying with all crying or probably with all genuineness? No, I will have time. I want time to accept it. Likewise, the other person also want time to accept it. Probably it takes a week or probably according to the intensity of the hurt. But the person will be handling it about maybe 1 or 2 months or probably years together. But then our part is giving sorry, okay, and also fixing it. Again, fixing your mistake means you will never have to wonder if you could have done more. Yes, it's like not like I should have done this, shouldn't have done that way. Not like that. Okay, it's more of, yes, I did it. I kind of took responsibility of it. I did feel the feeling of, I did accept the feeling of guilt. Yes, I did feel that way. Now I'm working on it. I'm going and asking sorry, or probably trying to probably work with that. Okay, I'm trying something that is appreciable, and you have to take that. Probably a lot of people, some of you can see the topic and have joined. Probably that is the intense feeling in you. You can say, I appreciate you for joining today because you are actually taking a step. That is where the beauty of forgiveness is. You accept it and you start working on it. And focus on the renewal, where forgiving yourself often requires finding a way to learn, experience, and grow as a person. And this, you need to understand why you behaved the way you did and why you feel guilty. What steps can you take to prevent the same behavior again in the future? Again, we will not be having a chance to go and say, change the behavior, change the past. Of course, we cannot go back and say, change the past. But then, while we understand why I did, probably I was angry and blurted out few words and it hurt that person. That understanding of the situation helps us to handle that situation in a better way next time. That is where forgiveness is. Yes, how to forgive yourself. This representation. Accept responsibility for your action. Feel guilty without dwelling. Dwelling is like, I shouldn't have done, or why that person is not accepting my request, or am I a bad person? No, not that. It's like, but I have to take a step. Amend your mistake. Go say sorry. There are few terrible situations where you had done a very bad thing and the other person will not easily accept. And you have to accept that person's emotion. You have to give them time. You cannot force someone to forgive you because you feel guilty. The person will not be forced to actually go forgive you just like that. You did it, okay. You did it and you really felt bad and you really went and asked sorry. And give space. gives much space to it and feel, yes, I have, but that feeling of, yes, I will not do it again, or probably I will look back and see what can be done in such a situation, helps us to actually forgive. Focus on what you learned and how you grew. From that, probably, yeah, we are going for a better thing. Yes, forgiving oneself, yes, you might have messed up, but it was a learning experience that can make better choices in the future. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future. Yeah. To speak about the forgiveness, actually, whether it is oneself or for others, to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner, the references. I just want to add a few more points. Okay. So what are those is forgiving, when we are focused about forgiving others, first me, handling me first. Yes, I was hurt and I am trying to recover that. Probably a few anger is there that I will be giving a chance for myself to actually vent out the anger, take my own time to actually understand the situation or understand or go through the feeling. I take time to go through the feeling, then I look at the other person's perspective. What happened? What has actually happened in that particular situation? I think about it. I re-see the whole scenario. Then I analyze it, whether it is I also think whether that person had been always doing it or what are the other good things that the person have done it. So I kind of see the person and the situation in a separate way and actually figure out what happened. And then you will be speaking about, you will be working on it. You probably feel that, yes, I can move forward now. Yes, I can do it. And when we are speaking about forgiving oneself, it's more important to forgive oneself because when I accept my own feeling, a few people who beautifully said it. If I accept and I know that it's not done intentionally by myself, but I cannot ignore the fact that the other person hurt because of me. It's not about accepting my own thing and I'm just leaving it because I did not do it intentionally. The person who probably who hurt you and who came and said to you that you hurt me was a person who did not expect you to hurt that person. So we have to analyze that also in that situation, why that person was hurt because of me. I have to think and then I have to work on it and I will make sure that such a thing doesn't happen again. At least again, there are few life situation where you make another mistake also to the same person, but it will be at least a different mistake, and probably again you learn from it. Till the end you learn from it and you not repeat the same mistake. That's how we live as a human beings. We are having emotions and we are going to go through a lot of things in our life, but then it is best that we learn from it, whether you're forgiving others or forgiving oneself. The learning part, probably when you're forgiving others, is the learning part is me having my own boundaries. That helps me to be safeguard myself from other things. And also this, and a lot of research studies that have said, if you don't take up the step to understand and just have a nullify the emotion that you have, a prolonged anger can actually create a lot of physiological and emotional stress in us, and it can actually come out in a different way. We will start spoiling the good relationship that we had. We will start spoiling our own health, a lot of things. So this was a very beautiful quote. To forgive is to set the prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you, that's me. Thank you so much for patiently listening. So I'm open for this
Yes.
question
Thank
and
you
answer.
so much, Akshaya, and welcome back to In Action. It was a very, very interesting topic about forgiveness. Yes, definitely. Forgiveness is the virtue of the brave. It's not me saying, but our former Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, quoted this. And we also have the saying, "Man kekaravan manshanna மன்னிக்க தெரிந்தவ மிகப்பெரிய மனுஷன். So this is what we have. And yes, the forum is open for question and answers. Participants, you could unmute yourself and ask a question, or you could put in the chat box so that I can facilitate it. Yes.
Good
Yes,
evening.
sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Good evening. It's Amrut Muzumdar from Raipur.
Hi, sir.
I wanted to ask suppose I feel that I've done a mistake and that has really hurt me, but I want to forgive him, but he does not believe that he has done a mistake.
Okay. Thank you so much for the question, sir. So the first question will be, again, the question is whether we are going to focus on forgiving someone or making them realize that the person has actually made a mistake.
He believes that you need not forgive me. I have not done any mistake.
Then why? Yeah, I understand, sir. A few people who doesn't realize till the end. So when we go and explain to that person saying, yes, you have done this mistake, you have to realize it. It's one is, let me be very frank, it's going to be energy loss for us because doesn't understand my emotions. I am hurt. That's why I come to you and say something. That acceptance or that understanding is not there. Means if we keep pushing that person to understand, the person will not till the end. The person will keep repeating the same thing again and again. It will pressurize only us. So what can we do is probably kind of avoid such situations with that person, because if we are going to keep on going and saying what you have done, a few people who not actually understand. You have to be realistic in that way also. They are not understanding means what I can do. What I can do is I can deal with me and not with that person. So I will be avoiding that person for probably such kind of discussions or some. There are a lot of other things to focus on in my life, so that I will move on with that things. You are willing to forgive means you are a good person. So you what to say? You are that feeling of forgiveness has satisfied you. That is the full forgiveness. You don't expect the other person to come and say sorry. That is what it is, sir.
It's not for making him say sorry. It's not for making him say sorry, but it is just making him aware about the mistake. Whether he says sorry, doesn't say, it doesn't matter. In other words, if I forgive him, I don't even let him know that I have forgiven him. Is it so?
Yes, sir. Okay. I do understand that probably there are things that the person understands so that the other person doesn't go and do the same thing to others. Is it that way, sir? Or probably the person.
What I'm saying is, I forgive him and don't even let him know that I have forgiven him. I have forgiven him for my satisfaction or my peace of mind.
No, sir. I'm just asking you a
I
question.
have forgiven him for my peace of mind or my satisfaction.
Okay, you're satisfied. So okay, the full forgiveness is that if we are satisfied, we will not be worried about the other person.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
I do understand. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. The thing is that when we are satisfied with our own forgiveness, yes, then even again we care for that person some way, care for that person, and the person actually wants to and doesn't repeat the same behavior to us or probably to others. But there are few people who doesn't understand, so it is better that we actually safeguard ourselves, our own emotions in that particular place. Thank you so much, sir, for asking that question. I have answered you.
Ananya, this is Chandra here. I have had a similar situation. I have had a similar situation to the previous question asked by one of our participants. So I can perfectly understand what he exactly feels about it. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Chandra, go ahead.
Yeah, it is in relation to the previous question asked by one of our participants, Ananya. Sorry, Akshaya.
I'm really sorry. Your voice is breaking.
Hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Chandra. Actually, yes.
It's yet breaking,
Akshaya,
ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes, I think there is low
Veena
network
ma'am,
with you,
can
Akshaya.
you tell
Yeah.
me if
Yes, Chandra, go ahead with the question. I will tell to Akshaya.
Okay, okay. The question is, Veena, there was a question before by one of our participants.
Yes.
So I can exactly feel what it could be because I have had a personal situation like that. So what I'm trying to ask is, it is about, it is not just about forgiving. You are feeling really okay with the situation, but the other person always stands for not accepting the mistake. But is it okay just to forgive in yourself and wait for the person to realize and then resolve the situation?
So,
yeah, a very good
Akshaya.
question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
you got the question,
I guess,
Akshaya.
I got the question. I will be repeating the question. Kindly let me know if I got it right. So, Chandra ma'am, your question is that at times what happens is Chandra ma'am, is it the person really did not even notice that you did that person did a mistake, or just ignoring it?
Both, Akshaya, both.
So in the first case, if you have not, if you feel that the person did not even realize the fact that he or she actually um, hurt me or hurt us personally, the one thing is we can actually go and ask the person rather than we thinking that okay, this person actually has hurt me, but then she's not coming and asking sorry to me, or I will forgive her this time, but then why is she not even reacting to a thing that actually hurt me? It will be there. So in that case, you can actually go and ask. Probably there will be a behavior change in yours. Probably at times you do not speak much like before or something like that. So you can ask, see, have you observed my behavior, or I just want to speak something about this. Okay, what happened? I just feel this particular, be very specific. I will be saying this to everyone. When someone has hurt us for a particular thing, go and say them particularly, this incident, this word that you said hurt me. Shall we speak about it? Do you think that you did it? Probably the person might just then realize and then say sorry immediately. Probably. Or give some reasons. Well, this is why I did it. That is why they did it, something like that. But open to conversation is something that is very important. When it comes to the other person, not even reacting to that. Because till the end, the person will not be reacting because the person doesn't feel that way. The other one, as Sir also asked, they know that they hurt, but then they are not willing to accept that they hurt. It's because of their personality. It's because of their own things. Okay, but the truth is that you got hurt, and you let them know that it hurt. There, your point is there. You let them know that it hurt you, but how they are reacting cannot stress you. It should not stress you because you felt the hurt and you did give a chance for the person to explain, but the person is not explaining. Then you have to focus on you only. That time it is a waste of time if you go and focus on the other person. Let me say very clearly, even in counseling sessions, if the person who is sitting in my front of me is not willing to change, it is a total waste of time for me also and for that person also to actually give the counseling, because the person already has decided that there will be nothing that will be changing. So it is, we don't know, you can, even in counseling, we do it for this terms. Okay, if it seems that you are not giving fullest to that or something like that, we say, and if the person is saying, yes, I'm not interested in it, we just ask that person to quit the counseling. If that is the ideal thing. So it is better when you cannot, let us be very practical. You try to explain. There is some point where we try to explain, and even then the person is not accepting and doing it. If you keep on doing it, it will stress us only. Let us to forgive. We forgive that person, and we will move on to other things. As I had even given in the PPT, saying if we forgive that person, we will not be thinking about the person's reaction to it, and we will not be focusing on the person. It's more of forgiving someone is us. It's about me. I forgive someone, and it's my feeling, and we have to hold on to my feeling, and we should not be worried about others feeling that. I guess your question, Chandra ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Akshaya. So I have decided to go by the words, let us let the prisoner free.
Yes. And one more thing I want to add, you forgive others because it doesn't mean the others deserve that forgiveness. It is for your own inner peace. So you forgive for your own inner peace.
I
Yes.
will be very saying that also, ma'am. It's easy to say in words, but the person who is going through, let me be very practical that also. It is going to be painful. But for what? When step by step, you can. There is like you all know, I believe, Iron Man's character in like a Marvel Studio. Robert Downey Jr. He was addicted to some drugs, and one time he was casually speaking to some interviewer, and she said, "I know how to overcome that," and something like that. He just said, and the interviewer said, "Who? You are saying that?" Because that person's career was damaged. Downey Jr.'s career was damaged. The physical health was damaged. Emotionally, everything went out. But then he came down. So this interview was very curious and even sarcastically asked, "Oh, you are saying that? You are the one who was affected the most. You're saying that?" He said, "Yes, I was. Yes, I know why you are asking me this question, but that decision to change it, the decision was the one step that was difficult to me, but when I took that step, it is an easy process." So I will very confidently even now say, even after sometimes I will say that yes, I can do it, and I can ask others also. I can actually guide someone, support someone also. That one step to further. Yeah, we can. It is a hardest step until we take the first step. Thank you.
Hello. Can I add a point?
Yes, Krishnan sir.
Yeah. See, many times, why it is so difficult to forgive is that, we think that, the perpetrator's action is, is justified. That is what we think. So when we forgive, so his action is, is justified or something like that. But it is not. His action was wrong. And the justice, it is not, we are not doing injustice. Okay. So it is only for us, as you said. So if we forgive, it is only for us to be free from that, what you said, which is, but the difficulty is, we always think that other person action is justified. So that means if I forgive, that means, we are accepting his action. That is what many times people think, and they refuse to forgive. So that is what happens.
Yes, very beautifully said, Krishna sir. Yes, as sir said, it is not about I am allowing the person to do the mistake again, or I'm not saying that whatever you did was wrong, right. I'm not saying that. It's that whatever you did was wrong, but I personally want to go for it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, Alex sir.
Okay.
Alex.
Congratulations, nice presentation. I have a lot of doubts, lot of questions. Because presently I am with my thesis work connected with forgiveness, PhD thesis. Now, what you spoke about or the practical tips that you have given is the dimensions of Indra forgiveness. When it comes Indra forgiveness connected to oneself, I heal, I let go, I get freed up, and I become emotionally well, all my distress is gone, and I become experience peace, or I free myself. But what about when it is the relationship is of continual? If the relationship is not ongoing, there is nothing to worry about. But when the relationship is something that is continual or need to be carried on, it cannot, this kind of an understanding can help. And another one is, I find it, we are finding it very difficult. We may say as a cognitively perception, you change your perception, your thought and all that. If I could ask a question, how many of us have forgiven in our life? Or how many of us we are not forgiven someone? If we count it number,
whom we have not forgiven will be more than whom we have forgiven. So, as the understanding, the forgiveness, which they focus so much in the research so far, from my own little research and attempt, it is more of coming from an individualistic cultural perspective context. And we are trying to apply it, or we are trying to say this is what forgiveness. I think for us as an Indian, we need to focus what it is, little more better. It is more of interdependent, or it is more of interpersonal, or even recently that study among the Chinese, it is not even there is a forgiveness. It's more of a Tamil, what we call it, sagiputtan. It is just in a continual relationship. There is no forgiveness. It is only forbearance, or I just tolerate. So I think that has to be, and we are trying to take more of a research so far has gone into forgiveness. It's more of focusing on intra-personal level. I think for me, that's the reason that first person, when you ask the first question, I think that is a difficulty comes, because I want to continue. For me, the other person is important. I want to relate. So the relationship is just nullified with this understanding of forgiveness. So maybe I like the way it is started, this thinking process. I congratulate you for this. And surely we need to go from here to long way to understand this complex construct called forgiveness or forgiveness. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Alex.
so
Sir.
much, Alex.
Yes, I will just add
Yes,
few
yes,
more
Akshaya,
points out of
please.
Yes, it was very beautiful thoughts, sir, like individualistic culture and the collectivistic culture. Yes, it is very important thing. And when it comes to, again, when it comes to relationship, and especially when it comes to husband and wife, or someone, my child, or some parent child, or something like that, or very close friends, or whatever it be. Again, the words are right. You said, like, the tolerance that we are going through, actually. If it is going to disturb our relationship, if it is not spoken, most of the cases, what it happens is, it is not spoken out, sir. Actually, it's not spoken out. I'm hurt is not even put because of the collectivistic culture that we have. I have to tolerate it because he is my husband. I have to tolerate it. It is because she is my wife. Or the tolerance actually will come out in a different way. It's like aggression, displaced aggression. It can be, or something. It's kind of very complicated subject. And there are, I guess, I referred few things. There like what is it, different types of forgiveness too. Yes, there are different types of forgiveness, and there are a lot of topics that is actually covered. And even it is debatable, the traumatic situation, the trauma or the abuse as a person, and the person's personality changing in a particular way. Or even I have, when I thinking about this particular topic, I even thought rape victims, family, or something. I will say probably to, for society's sake, yeah, probably I will forgive that. Deep inside, I will yearn for that person actually to get punishment. There are these traumatic things and all these things, and if it is going to be disrupting, go for it. There is another options. It's not just dealing myself. There are few things that we can deal, and there are psychologists and psychiatrists, or some people who can actually help us with actually dealing with other things. Thank you so much for bringing up the collectivistic culture part, sir. Yes, there are few things that we can do for ourselves, or else it's better that we ask for help outside. There are a lot of other studies that I have to really focus on. I will keep this in my mind, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Akshaya, for giving such wonderful inputs, and also thank you, Alex, sir, for sharing your thoughts and views. Like we say, respect is earned, not owned. Likewise, forgiveness is also earned, not owned. And there are few people who talk about why forgiveness is overrated also. And also there is a lot of connectivity and a lot of variations on forgiveness and intolerance. So we sometimes presume like tolerance with forgiveness. So we need to know the clear-cut boundaries between forgiveness and tolerance. So It's not like when you have some gaslighting sort of things, you keep on forgiving the other person and be in the relationship. So you should know where to draw the rigid boundaries. You should know where to give self-respect yourself, where your self-respect is at most priority. So this is what we need to like educate our future generations. And thank you so much for this beautiful session, Akshaya, again. And now I take this opportunity to call upon our own Krishnan sir to please place vote of thanks if he is there. He would be the best person to do that. Krishnan sir? Okay, so probably I take the honor of doing the vote of thanks, Akshaya, on behalf of the Department of Psychology, American College, Madurai, MSSW, Chennai, MS Chelamuthu Trust and Rehabilitation Center, Madurai, and Madurai Kamaraj University, and Schizophrenia Research Foundation, Chennai, and also Psycho-Oncological Association, Turkey, Wellbeing Center, and your own Pirai, who are all the associate partners. I take this opportunity to extend our gratitude for accepting our request and taking such a wonderful session, and also our gratitude to all the participants who have been like a part of our journey. Soon we are going to complete 300 sessions and looking forward that. So participants, kindly send your queries and feedback to my webinar feedback at gmail.com. And once again, thank you so much, Akshaya, and we will meet tomorrow with yet another wonderful session. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. So one question, like Shabna ma'am. Shabna ma'am, you can see our article about Iron Man's interview about his drug addiction, something like that. If you find, you will be able to see it. So I'm not taking much time. You can actually find it in YouTube or any articles. It will be there. Just type it, you will be able to get it, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'll be stopping. Yeah. Thank you, participants, for all being there till the end. Thank you so much.